keep the kids from vegging out in front of the TV all summer long, or maybe having one of these in their hands and whatnot, maybe keep them reading some books, we have some help this morning.
That's right. We're having a little tea.
All
Julie
right.
Bogart runs a program called Poetry Teatimes, and she brought her tea party here to explain how it works.
I
Good
did.
morning,
Here's
Julie.
my pot of
You
tea.
got the teapot all set to go.
Absolutely.
Brought us a spot of tea.
I did.
I love it.
And we've got cookies.
I love the little teacups too.
Yes.
So here's what it is.
I was going to say, how old are the kids to sit around with such nice things like this?
Well, here's the great thing.
Yeah.
We realize that parents have things they want their kids to love, but that's not always the same
Right.
thing they love, right?
Sure, sure.
So what I say is, parents want their kids to love things like chess, violin, poetry, these challenging experiences,
Yeah.
and kids love parties.
Yeah.
So I decided to marry poetry and a tea party, and we had a home run in my
Yes.
family. I would put out cookies, they would decorate the table, we would drink tea. You don't even have to use tea. You could put lemonade in here. It's the teapot that's key, because that feels like a party.
Yeah.
And then we go to the library, check out a whole stack of poetry books, distribute them on the table, and just tell each child, pick a book to read, pick a poem to read, and they will page and page and page until they find one and they share it.
I love
and
this.
that's the whole experience. Even kids who can't read will find a poem, they'll page through and think, oh, I love this picture.
That picture, that's the one.
And then they'll hand it to you to read, and they get the joy of discovery, like, oh, that's what's on that page. So what you discover is kids who find chapter books too long or they're challenged with reading can take this bite-sized chunk, become a little orator, and share it with the family over tea and cookies.
I love it.
It's easy.
Well, I think there's something in this day and age about just going to the library
Yes.
and getting
Totally.
a book. I mean, because anymore I tell people, if you want me to see a piece of correspondence, I'm much more likely to see a letter than I am an email. Because, you know what I mean, I get that stuff
Great.
computerized and digital all the time. You take a kid to go get a book, that's a little bit almost different of an experience now.
And there's
Totally.
something about the touch and feel and the smell
Totally.
of a book in a library that I want my son to know, you know.
Absolutely.
It's
And
such a-
it's free.
Right.
My goodness, you just say pick any book you want
Right.
and we'll take it home.
Yeah.
We also created a book that has a whole bunch of poems in it, Poetry Tea Time Companion, and we have digital download guides for free at poetryteatime.com.
Nice.
So this explains how to do it. This has library books you can check out.
So you have some, I was going to say, what are your favorite suggestions for kids, you know, for poetry?
Absolutely. I love Jack Prelutsky. He's
Okay.
hilariously funny. Shel Silverstein
Shel-
is
oh.
the
Classic,
old
of course.
favorite.
Take me to where the sidewalk ends.
Yeah, in fact, I even brought the book that my grandfather gave
Oh,
me
look at
when I was
that.
in 6th grade.
That's great.
You read to me, I'll read to you still exists. And this is what launched my own love of poetry. Look at that. My birthday in 1968.
I
his
love
little
it.
inscription.
That's fantastic.
So sometimes the things we think are intimidating can actually become pleasurable when we set the context
Yeah.
to make it inviting.
So is this something you obviously are encouraging people to do in their homes, but do you ever do this sort of out in public where people come
We
and
do.
experience with you?
You've got one coming up right now, a week from today.
That's right. We are going to be at the Blue Manatee.
Okay.
So that will be really fun. And then also on July 3rd, we'll be at the College Hill Coffee House. So bring your kids, order a cup of coffee, get tea or hot chocolate, and we'll be reading poetry, and I will model the experience.
Yeah, so we can kind of go and see how you do it. And then
Exactly.
I was just on your website, and you've got a lot of great tutorials. You have snack ideas.
That's right.
So it's poetryteatime.com, right?
That's it.
Make sure you visit.
And we'll get a link up at local12.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Love it.
All right, let's go look at the forecast.